One of the things I've been recognizing as I'm getting older in my 20s is I will probably never forget them. I've been through a lot of trauma with friends, family, even relationships that I think till this day I still carry along with me. And sometimes I don't crave nothing more than to simply forget about the situations or the people that are no longer in my life. But till this day, I still often think about them. I think about the friends that ended up walking away that I didn't necessarily want to walk away, or I think about the relationships where someone really did me wrong, but in the end I became the bad guy, or and things like that nature. And one of the quotes that often run through my mind is that I fantasize about the apologies that I know I will never receive. I think when we feel like people generally hurt us, that we deserve to be acknowledged. We deserve to have them understand the pain that they put us through in order for us to feel like this. And sometimes we will never get that satisfaction. We will never get that closure. That's why it says I often fantasize about the apologies that I will never receive, because in the back of your mind, that's where you have been done wrong. And to simply say, those people probably don't recognize their actions as to delivering that message to you. And if they do recognize it, they don't deem it worthy enough to owe you an apology. But that's where it's such an important thing to recognize that people can change. Everyone possesses the ability to change, and you even gotta admit that to yourself, because when you sit down and you do a deep reflection of who you are, there are probably situations in your life where you have offended someone, you have hurt someone, you have made them feel bad, and although to you it may not be such a big deal, now they're 20 years old, just like me, still battling with the trauma that I put them through. And I probably will never give them that apology that they often fantasize about. And that's the simple nature of humans. We often believe that we need to forget our trauma, we need to ignore it, we need to put it in this box and close it away and shut the door. But I want to explain the reason why you'll probably never forget it, or you at least will probably never forget the person who caused it for you. There's this Japanese philosophy that I can't remember right now off the top of my head, but it talks about how broken items and objects are fixed and plated with gold in order to be reinforced stronger and more appealing than what they will look like if they were simply broken. But one of the parts within that philosophy is that broken object, you can still reference the places and where it was cracked and where it was broken, because the gold that is used to fix and seal the cracks are there. They're lines that reveal that there is truth in this person brokenness, but there's also beauty within that. You'll probably never forget that person because they made you better. They made you take a step back and look at their actions and make sure that people like them no longer enter your life, but also made you take a step back and recognize yourself. When I lost my friend of 15 years, it was devastating for me. Till this day, I still think about him. I still wish for the best. When it originally happened, I wanted karma. I wanted him to understand that the loss of our friendship was a devastating part of my life, and I wanted him to somehow go through the same pain that he caused me by ending our friendship. And I know that makes me sound like I'm the villain of the story, but in his mind, I am. But I realized as I gotten older, I no longer wish for that pain on anybody. I don't want people or even myself to feel the pain that other has caused me in my life, even if they may deserve it, even if I think they deserve it. Because at the end of the day, we are all humans. We are all simply trying to figure this out. This is our first time. This is our first life. And I think it's so much easier to wish for negativity than to take a step back and look at the positivity that is already in your life, or can come into your life if you simply stop viewing certain things as personal. Not every attack against you, not every thing that a person does to you is personal. It's not a personal attack. It is personal for that person because at the end of the day, they have the reasons. Nothing is a personal attack against you. It's simply personal. When that person decides to act how they want to act, there is nothing in your power that you can control to force them to act a different way. And so simply understanding that you'll probably never forget the people who have done you wrong, because you don't even recognize the people you have done wrong. You don't even think about the people who still hold on to certain words that you have told them in the past, and they use to judge themselves or to look at themselves in a type of way. So it is unfair for you as a human being to believe that you deserve this way out of your trauma without acknowledging that you also have a role in putting trauma into this world, whether you like it or not, you know. But that what makes you become a better person, when you become more aware about your reactions and your certain actions to things and the little things. You know, the little moments are so important, because what may not be a big deal to you is a giant deal to someone else, because it's all about perspective. It's all about perception. People have different viewpoints and different outlooks upon this world, and so you really have to be intentional with your actions. You can never stop putting pain into this world. You can never stop offending someone. You never know what you are capable of, or what a situation may entail, or simply the fact that you can never control somebody else's feelings. Whatever may come out of your mouth could be attacked to them. But that's why I say things are not a personal attack all the times. It's simply personal. It simply may have been something you wanted to say or how you felt, and they took offense to that. And that is okay, because like I said, we are all humans simply trying to figure this life out. This year, I turned 22. And I still fantasize about the apologies that I believe I deserve, but I would probably never get, from situations that happened in my teenage years all the way down to when I was a kid. And it doesn't make me immature. It doesn't mean I haven't healed. It doesn't mean I haven't gotten better with my trauma and pain. It simply makes me human. And it means that I will make sure to use those situations as a boundary in my future, to make sure, or to do my best to make sure that I don't feel like I felt when I was going through them or afterwards, you know? Because at the end of the day, wisdom comes from experience. And sometimes it is the experiences themselves that feel like they're this draining, impossible thing to live through. But here I am now, you know. I lost my friend of 15 years. Till this day, I still think about him. I still want to reach out and text him. But I know for the best, I can't disrespect myself. And I don't want to disrespect him from my actions, because at the end of the day, like I said, it's now a guiding tool for me, and not necessarily the thing that I use to justify certain things that I've been through. It is just a part of my life. It's a story that I can now speak on, talk about, to help other people, but to also mainly help myself to continue to live, because I deserve that, and so does he. So I no longer wish karma against anybody, because I understand we're all just simply here. We all are trying to figure out this life, and in the way sometimes we end up hurting people without even realizing it, because hurt people hurt people.